everyone. My name is Raina, so welcome to my channel. I'm so excited today. Sorry about my hair, just like super crazy and just kind of like bedheady because today is a snow day slash there's no snow, but it is so cold out that they cancel classes. I live in Chicago, Illinois. And it is so cold out today that it's like negative 15 degrees right now, which is like so crazy. So today is I'm doing like an assumptions video. So on Instagram, about a few days ago, I put kind of like send me your assumptions about me. This is something that I noticed on YouTube that Christian Garrity did, Maggie McDonald did, Emma McDonald did. And I just thought it'd be really cool to do something like that. So I did, and I have them here. So I also wanted to kind of make this like a Q&A, kind of like, oh, about me, like if you don't know who I am, like as like a YouTuber, and I'm starting to like just like be more active about being on YouTube, and this is something that I've really wanted to do for a long time. Oh my gosh, my hair is so crazy. So let's just get started with like the assumptions first, and then like kind of like in between I'll do like a Q&A about it. So first I'll just start out being like, my name is Raina. If you haven't checked out my videos or if you're just tuning in, I live in Chicago, Illinois, and I go to North Park University. I'm a junior right now. I'm finishing my junior year, and next year I'm gonna be a senior, so that's super exciting. And I'm studying communications with intentions of being a news anchor one day. So I'm super excited about that, and yeah, but yeah, there's assumptions too, so I don't want to like say everything. But so the first one that I got is from a friend of mine that I know. I'm not gonna say like any names or like who they're from, but like you'll know who you are obviously when you hear them. Just like keep people's like privacy if they don't want like people to like know who they are, then that's fine. You are full of grace. I really like this because I think so often we think about ourselves like not knowing, we think that we're like struggling with something, but people see like on the outside that like, oh my gosh, like wow, I wish she could be there like doing whatever like that's like that she's going through. So it's actually funny that this person said I was full of grace because in my opinion, I feel like I'm never like I never have enough grace like towards people, and some people would probably be like, oh, like what does full of grace even mean? And I don't even totally know. So, but I know it's like a nice compliment. But um, but I think I could always try to be more like forgiving and more graceful. If anything, I would say I'm not graceful in the sense of like tripping and falling all the time sense, and then also in the sense of like, wow, I wish like I had more patience, or I wish I was more forgiving with that person, or I wish I handled things differently. So thank you. The next assumption is that you're a Christian. So yes, I am a Christian. Um, I um, I go to a Christian university, but that doesn't always mean that you have to be like a Christian, but I am a Christian. I love God, and I love like serving and working towards Him and working for Him, and I love it, and I'm still like on my journey, and I'll always be on my journey with God, and yeah, I feel like that's all I can totally say about that. I just like, I am a Christian, and I think I love like whatever you believe, or like whatever you like you want to do. This is not some kind of like, I don't want to be like, I don't want to like tell you like what you should and should not believe, but that's just something that I am a Christian, so, and I love that about me. Next one. Chicago is dangerous. I get this all the time. Oh my gosh, you would not believe how many people back home. So like, I'm not from Chicago. I was born in Rhode Island, and I've lived in Connecticut since 8th grade. And I love Connecticut. I live literally in the woods. I live on a dirt road. I don't have street lights. Like, it's like a whole thing like that. And I love it. But I love Chicago as well. Like, I've really come accustomed to the city. And my story with Chicago first started, I applied to 3 different colleges. I applied to Houghton University, or Houghton College rather, Gordon College. Well, Houghton College is in upstate New York, like super upstate. Super upstate. And Gordon College is in Wenham, Massachusetts. I applied there. I got into both these schools, and I was really conflicted because they were both pretty expensive, and I just really, you have to take some people really have to take financial aspects into consideration, like most people do. Lucky if you don't have to do that, but I have to consider financial like options. And my pastor told me about North Park, and at first I was like, I don't want to be that far away from home. Like upstate New York, yeah, I could do, but being in Chicago, I thought it's impossible. And I literally thought that there was no way that God was calling me there. And literally all the check marks just lined up. Like it just worked, and it was financially feasible for me. They had a good communications program here. There's a lot of opportunities in Chicago for my job one day. Not to say that I don't know if I'm gonna live here or not. I would like to go back home for a bit, because you can get a news anchor job in Providence, Boston, Hartford. Like you can get a news anchor job anywhere. And just starting out like reporting and journalism and all that. So everything just really lined up, and everything worked out, but I was so afraid of living in Chicago because of all the media. So I was really nervous, and literally I had such a busy senior year that I couldn't come visit the school. So like I literally came here, and kind of my motto through high school was by grace through faith. And so literally, like I went on faith coming to school here, just kind of hoping and praying that this is where God wanted me. And I've been so conflicted so many times, thinking to myself, okay, God doesn't want me here anymore, or like whatever, but I feel like these are challenges that God is putting in my path to kind of like help me be a better person, and like these are just things that I'm like you go through in life. And yeah, I'm still here, and I still love it. In Chicago, I think it's just like going back to Chicago is dangerous. Every city has parts of a city that you probably shouldn't be like. I think you should just use common sense. I said this to someone once, there's nowhere, unfortunately, kind of world we live in, there's really nowhere that you should go and not kind of have alert or like have common sense. Like you should always have your wits about you. You really shouldn't be walking around anywhere at night by yourself. Like, would I go to the train at 1 a.m.? No. Like by myself at night? No. Because that's just being like anywhere smart. I wouldn't do that at home. I live in the woods. One, I'm scared of the dark like that. So I wouldn't do that anyway. Not that I would like fear for myself or anything like that, but it's just like, you have to be smart anywhere you go. And so I think that applies to Chicago as well. So I think there are parts of Chicago that are like, like that are always better than others, but that's like in any city. Any city is like that. And people are like, oh, on the news, like it happens all the time. Like that's kind of like one of the, okay. So the point of all that was just to say that Chicago is not dangerous, and it's a wonderful place to live, and it's a great city. I just wanted to like wrap that all up. So the next assumption that I have is not really an assumption, it was just kind of like a funny thing that one of my friends said. You're probably the best person to go to the rodeo in Texas with ... let's do it again. First of all, shout out to you, because that is so cute to say. And just like the little backstory on that, I went to Houston in September of 2017, and I did a disaster relief trip for Hurricane Harvey. And so we would like work all day, and it just so happened the weekend we were there was like a rodeo that was like happening in Texas, and it was like my first Texas rodeo, and it was so cute, and I loved it, and it was a lot of fun. And we got like, there was like all these farm animals, and it was like a legit rodeo. Like there were literally like hog racing, and I can't like totally remember like horse racing kind of things, and cattle stuff, and it was actually like super fun. So I would love to do that again. So the next one is, I don't really have any assumptions, just want to say I admire your boldness. that literally like almost made me cry, because when you think about it, like I don't think of myself as bold, and I don't think of myself like as confident like in that way, and that's like something that I'm working on and that God's like working through me. And but I will say that this is like my next step onto like trying to like do YouTube again. And it actually did take a lot of boldness and more like confidence on myself, because I had a YouTube channel like before, and then I literally was in the middle of the night, I deleted all my videos because I got so insecure and I lost all my confidence, and I just didn't feel good about myself, and I was just getting like I didn't feel supported by my friend group that I was in, and I just like it was like this weird passive aggressive thing that just like wasn't nice anymore. And so like I had to like make those moves on myself and really do some like self-care and like really evaluate who I was hanging out with and like who was in my circle and how that was having a negative effect on my mental health. And so I would encourage anybody that if you like literally sit in like your room by yourself and you're like, who are these people in my life? When push comes to shove, are they gonna be there? Like, are they gonna be there for you when you need them most? And I had to really evaluate and say like to myself, like, no, they weren't. And they really like it just like was negative. And so I really evaluated that and self-care like myself. And then I realized I was like talking to a bunch of other friends and really encouraging me to go back on YouTube and to like do it again. And it's just fun. Like it's just something that I really enjoy. And I actually have some exciting surprises coming up soon. So I'm really excited to announce those later. So just like recapping, You Are Full of Grace, You're a Christian, Chicago is Dangerous, the rodeo one, and kind of just talking about like my boldness were just some of the assumptions that I had and the ones that I like picked out. And thankfully there's no like negative people or anything negative that I was saying, and I just don't feel like I have that sort of environment that people would like do that. And also like on the Instagram stories is like how I did it. That would be bold if someone was like said something really negative or like whatever, because like I can see who is the person that is giving me this assumption or giving me this comment or like whatever. So that'd be really bold of them, and I would encourage anyone that is even thinking about being negative on the internet to not do that, because that really affects somebody. And I was really thankful that no one did that to me, because I was like actually really nervous about asking people for assumptions. I was like, oh my gosh, is someone gonna say something that's mean and nasty? And no one did, thankfully. And I was really happy to see that, because I feel like words are so like important, and if you're like saying negative things, then that's really going to affect someone. And I know for a fact it would have totally affected me. Some people are like, oh, that doesn't bother me, and I feel like it would have really bothered me. Yeah, so like I said, I am a junior this year. I'm studying communications, and that's like a little Q&A about me. And then if you obviously like, I want to do this again, if you have like other questions or other things to say, then yeah. Okay, like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'm really excited about this, and stay tuned because I have a really big surprise coming up, and I'm really excited about it. And it's gonna be really cool. I'm doing a collab. That's the hint. That's the hint right there, that I'm doing a collab with somebody, and I'm really excited about it. So yeah.